Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition, another episode of Tejano Keyboard. This next video is I got a request from somebody who emailed me who wanted to see a video on No Quiero Estar Solo, the intro to one of the J. Perez cumbias that he's well known for. Now, before we dive into this, he wanted to know the live version from the All the Way live album that Jay released a few years ago in Dallas, Texas. Recorded it live there at the Tejano Music Convention. We're going to basically do a little bit of history, a little bit of analysis first before we start diving into some of the complexities of what's happening there on the recording. And also, I will play you a little bit of a YouTube video that I've seen that, I don't know, semi-recently within the last couple of years that I've seen. Great keyboard player, if not the top keyboard player in the Tejano music industry right now, Mr. Mario Ortiz, doing some really cool stuff. I'll be analyzing some of that stuff too, and then just kind of putting it all together so you make it your own, you know, instead of trying to mimic what's on the record, because, you know, Mario's a great keyboard player, but, you know, sound like you. You know, try not to sound like somebody else. You know, try to get little bits from here and there, and try to figure out why they're doing what they're doing, and then incorporate that into your playing. Some of the stuff that we'll talk about here are things that you can take into other tunes in different keys. It applies to everything. So I'm kind of glad that somebody brought this up to do an analysis of this song. So I'm going to make just a little bit of references to the actual recording, but then I'm just going to talk more about the analysis. So everybody knows the tune, you know, the... Right? Okay, so what's happening there, it's a or in the key of A, by the way. A sus4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. And by the way, this is just kind of covering the overall general idea of the tune, and then we're going to start getting more in depth here. But so, okay, A, then F sharp minor, which is the same. If you look over here, this is still an A chord. We're just changing the bass note, so it's a 1, 6, 2, 5. Okay, those are all 2 5s, really. If you think about it, 2, 5, 1 to E, and you have let's see here. We'll get to that in a little bit, but 1, 6. 1 and 6 are related because they're like major minor relatives to each other. Then the 2 and the 5. That's all the song is. All the harmonic content that is there in this song. Okay, so once again, A major, 7th if you want, 9th, F sharp minor, and then B minor 7th, then 5, which is your E dominant, or sometimes you can do one of these with like a D and an E in the bass. Okay. Here, let me one thing that if we listen to on the recording of the All the Way live album, they kind of take this gospel church approach to, worship playing, sort of speaking, like where Jay's just kind of talking at the beginning, and it's kind of cool because they're just kind of playing a couple pretty chords back and forth. And if you notice, I'll take you to the recording here in a second, but really all they're doing is doing the 4 chord, which is D, right? They're playing, and then the minor 6. And, they're adding a few little, or just adding a couple things just to make it sound pretty. Or let's see. That's not exactly how he's doing it, but it's just kind of like to showing you to make it your own. You know what I mean? They're just going 4, 6, 4, 6 back and forth. So let me play that back a little bit. There's the F sharp minor.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for coming out tonight.
So the rest of it's just kind of feeling.
We're making history tonight in Dallas, Texas, y'all. Give yourselves a big round of applause now. Come on,
they're doing just different little fills in between, but it's just basically,
very few that are with us tonight that don't know what's happening tonight. We're shooting a live DVD.
4 and 6.
A live CD. We wanted to make sure that you guys
they're doing that sort of thing. And then they do a 2-5-1. Okay, let me stop this before we keep going ahead. They're going to do a 2-5 chord progression to 4 eventually. Right? So you're thinking a D as your primera, right? So you're going to go 2, 5, 1, right? E minor, A7, or A dominant. I think, here, let's see, what do I have here? Oh, sorry, not, oh, there we go. It's, dominant, 9th, raise 11. Yeah, it's a raise 11. 'Cause it's like a B triad over an A. Dominant. Here, 1, 7, 9. Raise 11. Then you got your. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 and 13th. So it's a 13th. 13th to raise 11. I mean, that's what I'm playing, but they're playing something else. It doesn't matter. The specifics don't really matter. You just have to be able to hear the changes. You know what I mean? So I could do that. You know what I mean? It could be anything. That's a tritone substitution right there. Oops. Because I was going, let's see. Yeah, I was going E minor, A, the tritone to A, E flat, so you can go. It's up to you. You can make this your own, but basically, they're progressing to D. D is now the 1, kind of, and then from there, they do modal walks, or diatonic walks down the bass, C sharp minor, right? So it goes D, C sharp minor, B, dominant, and then your 5 chord, which is your E, right? Your E. I sus this a lot. It's like the D on top with the E in the bass. It's like a suspension, right? A sus4, kind of, I guess, because you're not really. If I were to go, or let's see, if I were to play it like that, would be a sus4. I guess you could do that too. So it could be like. Oops, let's see. Yeah. Yep. There we go. So if I, let me do that again. Oop. You know, or either way. Okay, and then you get into the main part of that. Okay, and then okay. What they're doing here, and then the next chord is going to be F sharp, right? So they're going to the 5 of 6, right? So they're playing this is like C sharp, raise 5. And this would be the dominant 7th, and then the major 3rd, I guess. Yep. So what do we have here then? Raise 5, raise 5, raise 9. That's what this is, okay? So they basically go here, sustain pedal. I won't sustain it so you can see the notes clearly on the computer screen. Okay, and then followed by, okay, there's that and then F sharp. So this is that C dominant, and then there's your F sharp minor. And then sometimes, because F sharp minor is related to A, so sometimes I'll go, oops, let's see. So that, it kind of sounds weird. I'll sustain it, but I was just doing it that way so you could see the notes clearly without them sustaining on the screen. So let's see. And then now what I'm going to do is basically do a variation of here's a little audio clip from a YouTube video that I heard. Let's see. Oh yeah, right here. Dramatic pause, and then right there, that just goes to the 2, right? Yeah, so to cover it again, A, C sharp, raise 5, raise 9, and then okay, so that B minor, and then they go a chromatic half step up, like a raise 5, so it'd be F major, or yeah, and then that same chord, which is like a D on top with an E in the bass, then the chromatic up into E, and then after that you're just playing chords. Yo pensaba que no importaba. Okay, what's happening there is this is getting you back to that C sharp, right? But you're doing a chromatic passing tone to from that E, that D. Yeah, so you're basically doing A to that same chord again, that C sharp, dominant chord, but we're voicing it like this now. Oops. Okay, so. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then to F sharp. Okay? Again. Yo pensaba que no importaba que tú te fueras de mi lado. Okay, now, me personally, I really don't play this tune out too much, but one thing that I do, same idea, is going as this, but I extend it outward and make it a little bit more gritty. I put a little more color into it. I go, yeah. Okay. Basically, what I'm doing here is I'm playing a D. What is that? A D raised 9. I guess if you want to, yeah, raised 9 and playing a B flat on top. This really gets into some really complex theory. I'll explain this in another video, like what I'm actually doing and why I'm doing it. But and then right here, this is a C sharp raised 9, and then an A triad on top. So, yo pensaba que no importaba que tú te fueras de mi lado. And then the other one. Okay, that. Okay, that's what's happening there. Same idea, because we're going to go, okay, we're in A. And then we go to C sharp to F sharp. And now what's happening is that F sharp is natural. But in order for us to kind of prepare ourselves to go to B, we want to turn that minor into a 5. So what we're going to do is make that F sharp into a dominant chord, okay? One way to do it is to, here, let's see. So this is the F sharp right here. Right? Here's your triad, or your tritone interval right here, the 3 and the 7. This would be, let's see, raised 9 right here. Raised 9 followed by raised 5. So we have, let's see. Yeah, so raised 9, raised 5, and the root on top. And we just move it chromatically up a half, up and then down. So from here, but kind of roll it. You know, that's all just characteristics, you know what I mean? You got to come up with your own stuff. But yeah, that's kind of what he's doing, I think. I don't know, I could be wrong. Okay, so yo pensaba que no importaba que tú te fueras de mi lado. And then it just walks up. Y buscarás, B minor. Otros brazos. And now here's the C sharp minor, or you can think of it as like an A with the 3rd in the bass. Como los que yo. And then in this particular rendition that I'm going to be showing you, the audio clip, they go to that F quite early, and then Jay kind of does his own little riff there, which sounds really cool to me. You know, props going out to, you know, the band. They call them the band for a reason, because, you know, those guys, man, they're monsters. You know, they come up with some really cool stuff. So here, let's listen to it.
Yo pensaba que no importaba que tú te fueras de mi lado y buscarás otros brazos.
there's the F, back down to E, and then they do this. Okay, so now let me stop and explain what's going on right there. They do the, they go back to 1. This is like a E minor, but they keep the A in the bass. Sorry, not an E minor, D minor. Okay, so like I said, it's just a matter of putting it all together. It's not really that hard. It's just they're adding more stuff to it, and the more you practice, you know, being able to play the chromatic tritone stuff like that, or tritone substitutions, being able to think faster will help you be able to throw in more stuff. There's you know, that sort of thing, which is based off of just a triad. You just rolling up the 3. You know what I mean? Yo pensaba que no importaba que tú te fueras de mi lado. Oops, que tú te fueras de mi lado. You know, so there's different things that you can do in between there. Even, you know, just like, but you have to be able to, you know, hear the changes and then slowly start taking ideas from there and here and there and just kind of putting it together, making it your own. Okay, hopefully this video was helpful to you. If you guys have any questions regarding this or any of my other videos, be sure to email me at tejanokeyboard@gmail.com. All right, thanks a lot. We'll see you guys.